Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US indices for the 1st of December. So today, something a little bit different. We're going to start with the Nasdaq. We'll have look at a couple of Nasdaq stocks, and then we'll look at the S&P. So on the Nasdaq here in the bigger picture, we're looking at wave 3 over here with an A and a B and a C here for wave 4, and we're looking at this whole move up here as wave 1, and yes, it can move higher than that as well, then an ABC here, and then wave 3 to the upside there. So this is the weekly chart. Let's go and have a look at the daily chart in that pattern. So from that low down through here, we're looking at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here. And then we're looking for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So there are ways to understand how far this wave 5 can go, but they're all a little bit loose. It's always best just to count the actual wave structure. The 13,000 is the closest largest number in that little area there. It's a major trading level, so we should see a bit of a dance across that. Wave 3 here, an A and a B and a C for wave 4, then 1 and 2, and then we're working into wave 3 here, and 4 here, and 5 here. It's also possible that this particular wave 4 here in this space here can get more complicated. We'll also look at that. In fact, we'll look at that right now in this triangle pattern here that we've been viewing, because it's at an interesting juncture at the moment. So if we consider wave 3 over here with an A wave here, a B wave here, then an A and a B and a C wave here, then a D wave and an E wave, so a triangle pattern for wave 4. So currently the move down here, this is an A wave here, then an A and a B and a C wave here. So in a nutshell, it really needs to fail right at this point here for this. And I don't think that's the case, because we can see a little corrective pattern here. Well, I don't know it's corrective until that top comes out, but we'll take a closer look at that little space in a moment. Coming back on track here to our count, looking at wave 3 over here with an A, B, C for wave 4, then wave 1 and 2 here, and then looking at this as wave 1 and 2 here, and wave 1 and 2 here. So we're looking for this to build further to the upside here. The levels here, of course, between the medium level here, 11,500, and medium levels always halfway between two major levels, so halfway between 10 and 13 in this case. A bit of an unusual number, but you can see that it carries a lot of weight. So we can look from 12,000, we can look up at 12,300, which should be the next level in here, and that's where it is now. And then the following level, if that gains support there, then we can be looking at 12,500 here, and then 12,800. But also with 800, it's part of what I call Group 2, so there'll be two other smaller levels in there, but we could look at those on a smaller chart. So just moving into the 1 hour chart here, so looking at wave 1 here and wave 2 here, then wave 1 and 2 here, and then wave 1 here and 2 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the third wave, fourth wave and fifth wave here for wave 1, and then A and a B and a C for wave 2. Wave 2 is a little bit small, it could get a bit uglier, but the nutshell here is that we want to see that top taken out here for that. Then we know that we're on the right track. We also want support on top of Group 1, because once we get support on top of Group 1, which is the number 3, it could be 30, it could be 300, but on getting support on top of number 3, it stops the market being pulled by the closest largest number up here, and then it will be pulled to the 500 here. So they're like magnets in a way. It's just the psychology of things. So this little wave 2 here is a little bit small, I grant you that, but let's just see how it travels. It may come down further than that. We'll just see how that plays out at that particular point. You can also look to build long again on top of this level here. Look for a classic trading levels pattern on a small version of that. So the pattern will look a bit like that. Arrival at the 300, the reaction, the first high above the level. This is your reference point to go long at, but you should be able to refine that to the second high here, which will be an A, B, C pattern. So on top of the B wave here, or on top of wave 1 here. And this little pattern just in here will be the same looking pattern as this larger pattern here as well, right? So you could refine it even further at that point. You could also move into here. You can build a couple of positions into here if you like, if you're a day trader. Understand the trading levels at that point, and also the classic trading levels patterns at those particular levels, and you can build in and get those to break even at that point. Let's have a look at the S&P 500. It's the same as well in terms of looking for wave 4 here and looking up for wave 1. It's possible that wave 5 can be up here for this. Somehow I just don't think it's the case. One of the reasons for that is when I'm looking at the long-term commodity cycle with BHP and so on, they tend to they look like they're at the beginning of a bull run, and you know, at the end of these major cycles, it's always the commodity cycles that are last to top out. So that's what I'll be watching. Anyway, we'll work through that issue, but from this low here, the COVID low, we're looking at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and we're looking up for wave 5 here. So we're looking for 5 waves between wave 4 and wave 5. On the daily chart, we've got wave 3 and wave 4 here. I'm assuming this is wave 1 here and 2 here, and that would be in line with the Nasdaq, so I'm comfortable with that. It's also possible that there's 2 things that can occur here. One is that we just continue to move up from here, and the other one is that this is a B wave here, so an A wave down here, a B wave here, and a C wave coming down here, and then up at that point. These levels here between 3,000 and 4,000, we count the Fibonacci numbers 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8 here, right? Halfway between these levels seems to always be important as well. So the halfway mark between these 2 points here is this number here, 3,650. So we really want to get support on that level there. That's really the glass ceiling at that point. So if you can get a classic trading levels pattern sitting on top of that, then you'll feel comfortable that the market will push up at that point. At the moment, it's not support, it's at resistance, so it's at risk. So it's not sitting on top of it. It's not like down here where it's sitting on top of this level and then making new highs above this high and that high where we'd go normally go long. So it is at a space where this move down here can still play out. Let's move in and take a closer look at this on the 4-hour chart. It explains both counts here. The first count is from wave 4 here as wave 1. It's a little bit dodgy for wave 2, I understand that, but I can count 5 waves down here. There is an overlap on 4 and 1, so yeah, I know you can throw tomatoes at me on that one, but otherwise 1 and 2 here, which is, I'm sort of pulling this in line with the Nasdaq, and then 1 and 2 over here. I did get this wave 2 here wrong, where I had it here at that point, but it's come a little bit lower here, and it hasn't really given me a nice C wave here as well. Once again, I'm just sort of looking at the Nasdaq to see if that is correct. But as you can see here, this 3,600 is the closest largest number, and in a way it's been snaking across here, and each time it comes across it's got hit here, and here it was spent more time here but still got sold off, but it's back up there and sitting on there. So in that instance, the long trade would be above this little high here on this one here, just in the bigger picture and the scheme of things. So if that's breached, then you're on the long side. We just need to be mindful that this doesn't come down here further at this point. On the hourly chart here, we can just look at it like this here with wave 1 here and 2 here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 here. And this is where it gets a little bit dodgy as an A wave, and A, B, C for the B wave here. And I'm not getting 5 waves here, so there really is a question mark sitting in this space just there. So we can put that there. It's not quite right. It's not, this pattern here is not quite right here. So this could easily be down for 1, back for 2, down for 1 and back for 2, and move down further at this point. As I mentioned before, we can go long above here, but we could also bring that down and go long above this point here too for this. Let's just see how this plays out, shall we? But a very clear indication of where to go long. Alrighty, let's just have a look at a couple of stocks. First of all, I'm going to have a look at Alphabet Google, because it's been a bit of a catalyst for leading the market. There's other stocks that are leading, of course, as well. Sorry about the mess, but wave 3 here, ABC for wave 4, and then like the Nasdaq, we've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for 1, ABC for 2 that we've worked through, and then up for 1 and back for 2 and up for 3 here. We've been looking at wave 4 come into play here, and that seems to be okay. It seems to be a nice 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 up here for wave 1, also coming back for wave 2. So that particular pattern's also in line with the Nasdaq and the SP500 of being 1 and 2. But once again, we need that we need this top here taken out, so we can just put that on top there. So that would also be a long trade at that particular point there. So the other markets, I mean, there are markets like Tesla and Square that have been moving up quite nicely. Here's Tesla here moving up quite nicely, as you can see. So that will just continue to move up. That will obviously dance across this major level here, which it's doing. The resistance, first high above the level, that sort of thing. So it still has further to go, but we haven't really focused on that, so I'm not going to focus on that. We'll look at Amazon, big one here. So once again, we've been looking at this as well, wave 3, an A and a B and a C for wave 4, up for 1 and back for 2. So we're looking for this to move up. Between that high and that low here, this is the 50-60% retracement level here. So we were looking for that 3-2 to become the support. This could also be very well corrective here, because just the way that this played out here, I mean, we've got an impulse wave. We've got an impulse wave here. It's an A and a B and a C. Oh, no, that's also an A and a B and a C here. I need to pull that apart, but I can see we've got 5 waves here. So in a nutshell, we can also go long above that high here. Okay, but this pattern here reminds me of being a corrective pattern that can come down further at that point. But taking out that high there will be a clear indication above that 61.8% that we're on the move to the upside there. So it's not really leading to the upside there as such. This particular market as well, Facebook here, this can be counted in different ways, and it can certainly be counted as corrective. One of the things that we were looking at was the market coming back up into the onto the support of the 280 there. So what I can also see here is, like, from this low here, I can see 5 waves up here. So we could still look for support up there, but you could also go long just above that top there now, if you wanted to get something closer, because that's either going to push up from that point, or it's going to drop at that point. So that would be the place to get in there. I don't know what else I've got sitting on my screen here at the moment. I think that will kind of do it. Apple. You know, the main point with these big stocks that we're looking at, apart from Apple, that Google, that's moving to the upside, leading to the upside, the rest of these are kind of sitting lazily low, so to speak. This move here is interesting because we can look at it as an A and a B and a C wave for wave 4, up for wave 1, and then an A and a B and a C. We've been looking at this. Well, it's an A and a B and a C if that moves up here, taking that top out here. Taking that top out there confirms that it is an ABC pattern. So you can also go long at that point there. Okay, that would also play out on that particular level there of 20. So yeah, from 100, minor level, I'll just get these sorted out here, just darken them up a little bit, because that's 10. The next one is 20, which is this one here. These are the 3 levels in here that make up group 1, and then also the 30 here as well. These are minor levels, so 30 would be minor group 1. These are sub-levels in here, so we don't really need those in there now. We're not using those. So we want to get support on this number 2 here for that. Well, in a nutshell, you can pretty much go long at that. Any move above that top there, you can go long at, because it creates that as a bullish corrective pattern. But I can see that it's bullish anyway, so yeah, we don't need to go into that. So they're long trades there. So we'll probably put some of these long trades out today on the Trading Lounge website as well. We can, now that we've got our website back from manage.com being ransomware attack, and also too that the corrections are finishing, and we're seeing an impulse wave to the upside, and we're seeing the corrective waves back. So it's a good time to trade stocks now, generally speaking, based on the the big half a dozen, and of course there's some that have been leading. Yeah, but there we go. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Cheers.